guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm going to do a get ready with me and just kind of talk about how I felt during my pregnancy and how I felt after postpartum. I wanted to do a get ready with me instead of just a story time because I feel like I've already done 3 story times and this would be better than a story time. So I'm not actually really that good at makeup, don't know that much about makeup, so don't judge me. While I'm getting things together, I will start talking about my pregnancy journey of how I felt. This is going to be about my emotions, and we'll see where all of this leads. I don't know how honest I'm going to be, but I feel like this needs to be said for everyone, and if someone feels the same way, I hope that this helps and so that they can talk about their feelings to whoever they need to, because I know that I was not able to, even if someone told me that I should. I'm not that type of person that does that. So I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to say anybody's name, but this is my feelings and this is how I feel, and so this is supposed to help other people out. This isn't a bashing video whatsoever. I'm going to be talking about how I felt about people in my life, but this is definitely not a bashing video. I still love everybody dearly, no matter what has happened. So let's get into the video. So I found out I was pregnant in February. In February, everything was all good, and then I think I would blame a lot of this stuff on COVID, but it's definitely not, because I know it's not. Okay, so whenever I found out I was pregnant, I knew that there was a possibility of all of these emotions and how a lot of people are gonna leave you and they're not going to be friends with you anymore, and that wasn't really the case, but it kind of was the case. I'm not saying that I don't have my friends, because I think I do. I mean, I haven't been told that they're not my friends anymore. We still talk. They even threw me a surprise birthday party, even though I had my boyfriend and I had my family, but since it was COVID, a lot of people didn't hang out, and I always blamed that stuff on that. The reason why people didn't hang out with me, I mean, it was kind of hard to anyway, but especially during the lockdown. But I didn't even tell people until I was 19 weeks, so people didn't even know I was pregnant for a long time. After I was pregnant, I was never invited to anything anymore. I wasn't invited to my friends' houses. I wasn't invited to parties. I wasn't invited to really anything. Nobody talked to me. I had really no one, and I would get into arguments with my mom and just end up blowing because of the way I felt, and I would just let it all out, and it wasn't her fault whatsoever. I was really depressed in my pregnancy, and I felt as if I wasn't a teen anymore, and clearly I'm still a teenager. I'm 18 though. I don't want to sound mean in this whatsoever, because I'm not bashing anyone. I just feel like my friends knew that, a lot of people knew that my parents didn't care anymore about what I did. I mean, they did, of course they did. But I was always able to get away with a lot. And because of that, I felt as if I was always used. I felt that I was used so much, and that's the only reason why people hung out with me. And so after I announced I was pregnant, I got a lot of comments saying congratulations and everything like that. But then I didn't hear from anyone after that day. I worked all the time, for one, and that is probably a big reason for a lot of things. I did work a lot, and I was pregnant. So if a lot of teenagers get together and they party and they drink, and I wasn't able to do that anymore. So I guess people just figured I didn't want to be around that, and that definitely was not the case. I was definitely very lonely, and I didn't want to put myself out there and be like, hey, invite me, like, can I go to this? Hey, like, what are you doing? Like, things like that. I didn't want to be the one that had to ask and bug, and that's how I felt. I felt like I was bugging people, and I was always told by the people that I talked to that you just gotta ask people, you just gotta put it out there, and if you have a feeling, you just need to say it. And I probably did, but I didn't want to. I was always so scared, and I just couldn't. That's not me. So I don't put myself out there. So I was always lonely, and some people would always be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, someone's actually gonna finally ask me to hang out. And then I'd get a, hey, like, I'm going to this party, like, can you help me out? And I'd be like, yeah, of course, because that's the type of person I am. I'm a person that helps. I'm not gonna not let you have fun because I'm not having fun. I'm a caring person, and I'm always gonna be there for you, no matter what has happened with us or anything like that. So I always stepped up, and I was always like, okay, yeah, I'll do this for you. And it finally happened, I think about 3 times, and I was kind of done with it. And I didn't tell them that I didn't want them to be asking me that stuff. And I should have stepped up and said, hey, like, I don't think that's right. Like, at least invite me to wherever you're going if you're wanting me to do something for you. And I didn't say that, so that is my fault. And they didn't know how I felt, so that is also my fault. I didn't know how to tell people. And I was scared I was going to lose people if I told them how I felt. Why I felt that way, I'm not really too sure, because if I lose people because of the way that I feel, then it's their loss and not mine, and they weren't really good people in the first place. But, you know, I need to stick up for myself more. But, so, that I felt like I wasn't invited to things because people thought that since I'm pregnant, I don't want to go to a party. I don't want to be around you because you're going to be drinking. I don't want to do this because you're going to be drinking. But, to be completely honest, I never really drank stuff before. And so for the fact that people didn't invite me to things kind of just put me in a place of I wasn't good enough for them, which I'm good enough for myself, so that really shouldn't matter. Just because you're not good enough for someone else does not mean that you aren't good enough for yourself. Because you for sure are good enough for yourself, and don't let other people get you all twisted in that stuff, because I have learned from this experience that it is you. If no one else wants to be around you, or no one else wants to help you out or anything like that, then it is all you, and you deserve the best no matter what. So you give yourself love, you do you, and that's that. So that's really it about my pregnancy. I just felt kind of left out of everything. I felt like people just kind of dropped me. My life definitely was not the same. I feel like since my life wasn't the same, I was just kind of in a different place. And there's that. So we'll go into my postpartum. So with postpartum, I didn't really think I had postpartum depression, but I ended up, I think, having it. I just didn't have it severely bad. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I'm depressed, like I'm blank, I can't take care of my kid, I can't do all of this stuff. But I am going to do a postpartum transformation. And from the day I gave birth to I don't know when, but I was in a bad place because I felt like my hormones, for one, were just crazy ridiculous. Since that happened, I just had a bunch of different things going on. My body was so different to me, and I'm still young. My body shouldn't be this messed up. I feel like people are gonna look at me now. I feel like I can't wear a swimsuit now. I feel like my body's just not the same, and I feel like I'm not attractive. And that's the real feeling. That is my true feeling. I feel like my body is not attractive. I feel like I'm not attractive to my boyfriend. I feel like I can't show my stomach anymore. I would normally wear like crop tops, and in the summer I would wear a two-piece. I wear a bikini. That's just me. I don't wear one pieces. I do like one pieces, but I don't really normally go and buy one pieces because I feel like I just look weird in them. But after giving birth and at the very end of my pregnancy, I started getting stretch marks, and I had a few, and then it wasn't just a few, it was a lot, and then it was a whole bunch, which is not what I wanted. I was good, and I was fine with it, and then as soon as I had seen my stretch marks, it was just, I bawled my eyes out. I went to bed and I cried. I didn't want that for me because I felt like I wasn't gonna be attractive. And I still feel that way. You know, you shouldn't care about what other people think. I'm still in that mindset of, hey, like, my body's still not attractive, but I'm gonna get over that at some point. So there's that. There's my body image feeling. And then just the part about becoming a mom in general. That part was really hard for me. I was excited to become a mom. Whenever I found out, I was really excited. And whenever I gave birth, I don't really know the feeling that I had, but whenever I came home, I had a whole different expectation, and that expectation was not met, and I think I just kind of broke, and I was kind of down from there. Whenever I got home, I wanted to see people. I wanted people to come see me, but there's COVID, and so people are scared to come, for one, germs, which you don't want your kid around a lot of germs. So whenever I got home, I ended up I was fine. I didn't feel like I had depression. And whenever my boyfriend, we were always going. So whenever my boyfriend went back to work, I was at home, and I didn't want to be at home. I don't like just sitting at home. I want to be going places. I like doing things. And so whenever he had to go back to work, I was left alone with a baby, and everybody else was at work. My parents were at work, and I didn't have anyone at home. I didn't have anyone to really talk to. Whenever my boyfriend was at work, he had this expectation of, yes, I'm going, and I should be doing the laundry, and I should be cooking, and yes, I believe I should be. But afterwards, I didn't feel like that whatsoever. I didn't feel like doing that stuff. I didn't want to. And every time when he came home, he just was like, why is it a mess? And it was a mess because I was laying in bed all day. And I was laying in bed all day because I didn't feel right. And that was the problem. I just didn't feel right. My body wasn't right. My mind wasn't right. And I haven't really ever talked about my emotions. I didn't tell anyone I felt this way because I don't talk about my emotions. And so no one ever knew why I didn't do anything. I mean, I guess they could have guessed, but I think they were just thinking I'm being lazy. I wasn't. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't. The only reason I got out of bed was to take care of my son. That's the only reason I even got out of bed. So I didn't even get dressed. I wore my PJs all the time. I never once got ready, really. I just threw my hair up in a bun. If I went somewhere, I put some sweats on, leggings, t-shirt, or hoodie, and I put my hair up in a bun. Like this. This is how I was with no makeup. I just laid in bed and watched YouTube, and I felt extremely bad doing that because I felt like a bad mom. I was like, how do other moms do all of this amazing stuff? And I'm sure that they have these hard times too. And I just kept telling myself, I tell myself that. But at the same time, I tell myself, but they're still doing this stuff. And I'm not doing this stuff that they're doing, and they're getting the laundry done, and they're keeping the house clean, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they have this whole routine. And I'm sitting here and I have no routine for my kid, and I don't clean, and I'm not cooking, and I'd rather eat out, and I don't even eat. I lost my weight like right away because I did not eat. People kept asking me, hey, are you okay? You kind of look weird, like you look pale, you don't look like you. And I had people asking me that stuff, and I'd be like, I'm fine. Yeah, I was tired. Yeah, my baby was up all night. I had no help because I'm breastfeeding. I mean, what's my boyfriend gonna do? Just sit there and just stare at me while I'm feeding him? No, he can get some sleep. I don't mind him getting some sleep. But some people could see it and some people couldn't. I could, okay, here's the honest and total truth. And teen moms out there, any type of mom, any type of parent, here's the honest truth. And I haven't told anybody this, but here it is, and I'm gonna let it go, and I'm gonna let I'm doing this so that I can help people out. So here is my complete and honest truth about how my nights went in the very beginning. I was tired. I didn't want to get up and help my child out, but I knew I had to. I didn't want to breastfeed. My breastfeeding journey in the beginning was hard. It wasn't hard, it just hurt. I hated myself. I hated life. I hated myself. I did not feel like me. It was not me in my body whatsoever, and I couldn't get out of it, and I couldn't be comfortable. And I literally would sit in bed, and I would kick, and I would cringe, and I would do all of this weird stuff I can't even explain. And I didn't want him in my arms at that time, and that is depression. I feel like for me that it was a lot of my postpartum depression. I did not want him in my arms at night. I didn't, it's not that I didn't want him in my arms. I wanted him in my arms. I love him, for one. Don't get that twisted. I love him. I explain the feeling because it's a hard feeling to even explain, but it was like I wanted to just get him off of me. I wasn't comfortable. My body wasn't in the right place, so it wasn't right for me to have him in my arms, and it was just like I couldn't move. It was like I couldn't move and get out of this body that wasn't mine, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but that was how that felt for me. I told my boyfriend, I don't feel right. I didn't feel right. I don't even know what it was, but even throughout the day, my body was not my body, and I knew that. And then I was almost finished with my postpartum depression, and I got in a car wreck at 5 weeks postpartum. And I had my baby with me. It was just right after a dentist appointment, and I was going to my friend's house. I kept thinking, like, I could have killed my kid if I would have turned any more or anything. I don't know what would have happened. I don't know what would have happened. And I think that's my biggest thing. And so afterwards, I just bawled my eyes out. I just could not stop crying. Anytime I talked about it, I just cried. That brought up a lot of other things in my pregnancy, from my pregnancy and everything, especially me drinking. That was a big part of it. And so I felt like I was really failing as a mom. And I felt like nothing was going right for me. I felt like I sucked. I was not a good mom. I wasn't doing anything right, but that's definitely not how I feel now. I am now extremely happy with my life. I love my baby, and I would not change him for the world. He is my everything, and he always was. Don't get that wrong. He always was my everything. Should be everything. I'm sorry if this video is everywhere. I couldn't think of just everything all on top of my head. I just kind of was like, I'm gonna do this video today because I was talking about it in my day in the life vlog. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope